Good evening, everybody. Now, I know it's very, very late, but if this is probably the best time. Oh my God, I got some reverb on there. Let me turn that down. There we go. Yeah, this is probably the best time to start this, and that would be the design process. Now, I pretty much have the wood picked out that I'm going to use for the first out of the four guitars that I'm going to be designing and building for the Mamamoo series. And of course, I'm going to start off with Hwasa, because originally I was only going to do one guitar design, but everybody seems to want the full set. So, and my brother John talked me into making one of them a bass, and Moonbuell is going to her guitar design that's going to be, dedicated to her is going to be a bass guitar. And of course, the other three are going to have different types of six-string guitars. Now, Hwasa is going to be a straight-up rocker style guitar. I'm thinking Wian is going to be, her guitar is going to be a little different. I'm actually thinking on making a hollow body for her. Don't know why yet, but I'm trying to find, and I've done a lot of research on them, different personality traits. And the one thing that I am going to do that I know for Hwasa's guitar, and I'm going to try to draw some of this out right here in front of you, hopefully you'll be able to see it well, is the headstock of the neck, okay? And I probably should have had the camera on the other side because I am left-handed. I'm ambidextrous, but I'm primarily left-handed. I'll just draw this with my right hand. Okay, so, we have the headstock, your frets and whatnot, as you head down. But the headstock for Hwasa, now, traditionally, the headstock would be, like that, with the tuning keys on the left side, if you can see that. What I am going to do with Hwasa's, and this is part of the personality trait that I believe is her, is every time she gets told to do something to conform to what Korea wants her to be like, she does the exact opposite. So I'm going to make what they call, it's a reverse neck. It's like putting a left-handed neck on a right-handed guitar. Okay? And the headstock is going to look pretty much like this. Okay? With the tuning keys here on this side. Okay? So it's going to be like this. So we know that. That's how the headstock is going to be for her guitar. Now, if you guys want to throw out some ideas as I get into the body design, I think that'd be really cool because I really, really want you guys to be a part of this. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll put the body design on the same page. Now, I don't know who we have in here. The only people I see in the chat right now is Dee Dee, Asha, and Junior Kim. Let me take a look here. Okay, we have a few, and there we go, about 12 right now. So what I'm thinking about for the body style, and now it's going to be distinctly them. Now I'm putting their faces on the guitars, and I'm going to cut them out of wood and inlay their face into the guitar. So right here where the neck would go into the body of the guitar. Okay. We're going to have, I'm thinking of this kind of a shape, which is of it. Now, if anybody knows guitars, It's going to look a little bit like the style of maybe a Hammer Slammer or the old Carvins. But we need to have this guitar very, very figure-esque, I would say. Very, very figure-esque. Okay? So, because let's face it, Hwasa is probably the most, we'll just say she got hips, okay? And when it comes to her performance, you can see them, okay? So she's not going to be a very straightforward, slim kind of guitar. Hey Ray, thanks for stopping in. Now she is going to have 2 pickups on it, like my last guitar build. Like I said, it is going to be a straightforward rocker. Not sure if I'm going to do two double coils or nice, maybe some nice Les Paul pickups, but we'll just put these here just for argument's sake. That we're going to have they're going to be double space pickups for sure. Whether or not they're going to be humbuckers. Again, I'm sorry if I'm speaking in jargon that some of you don't know. This is guitar talk. Okay? And this is going to be straightforward. Hey, Sergeant. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I hope I'm going to pronounce it Keg. I hope I'm right. Yeah, I'm a luthier. I build guitars. I've got a few here. I'm not going to flip around the camera to show, but I can put up a link to a video that shows my last build. And like I said, this is not going to have a straightforward, we'll say, it's not going to have like a full whammy bar tremolo. Can't stand the things, the truth be told. But I'm thinking it's going to just be a straight bridge on it. Now, that being said, probably going to put the 3-way switch for the pickups here. The last guitar, I had it. It was up top here. And now, normally, my signature on all my guitars is for the plug-in to do the state of Texas around the plug-in. Now, that obviously isn't going to happen on this build. Let me see if I can. I might have. Okay, yeah, I do have a picture. Okay, and I'll be able to get this up on the screen here if you give me a second. Okay, here we go. This is the last guitar that I built. And you'll see, and this is made out of complete cherry wood. Well, the 2 stripes that you see in it are walnut, including the Texas State silhouette that you see here where the plug-in jack is. Now, where you see the 3-way switch up at the top part of the guitar, the top left hand on this picture, then you'll know. But on this one that I'm doing now, it's going to be on the lower end. I think because of the way I'm going to set up in the middle here, and I'll talk about that in a second. Now, again, guys, really, I like I said, as far as the design, I'm not against having input from you guys on how I'm going to do this. But whatever we decide tonight, the body is getting cut out tomorrow. I don't like using templates. I like cutting out my own shapes and custom. Most people that start building guitars, they're like, oh, I'm going to do a Strat. I'm going to do a Telecaster, which are there's so many templates for Telecasters out there. I've even built one. I have a Telecaster on the wall that I built. If they get a little crazy, they build, Les Pauls or something. Oh, okay. Okay. No, okay, so you're kegling on Discord. Okay, you're getting into guitar building. That's cool. I've been doing guitar setups and guitar rebuilds. Like I refurbish old guitars. I've been doing that for 30 years. And I just got to the point where I was tired of fixing other people's guitars and treating them like crap, and then you fix them again. And every band I was in, I ended up fixing them for the guitarist. I was the keyboardist. I'm a piano player. I know how to play guitar, but I'm primarily a piano player. But I've just spent my life fixing guitars. I love the sound of a good guitar, and I know how to make a decent sound. So I keep on bumping the camera. Sorry about that, guys. So here is basically what I'm thinking for a guitar design. Okay. Now, over here is where I'm going to put the silhouette of her face. And it's not going to be, of course, not just the outline, but it's going to have, it's going to have the cutout, and it's going to have, her hair. This is all going to be cut out of wood. Okay? All going to be here. And whether or not I do, but this is going to be her face. And this is pretty much what everyone is going to be like in the series. Now, whether or not I incorporate the hair into the cutout, I'm thinking on doing something like this and having the shape of the head go up here, as far as the hair goes, and doing it this way so it actually takes a more, how would you call it, dynamic approach to doing the guitar here. Yeah, it's going to have her face here on the guitar. Now, I am going to have her name written in Korean here. And I'm going to do the inlay. It's going to say Hwasa in Korean right here. So I want to do that in between the pickups. Now, as far as anything else, colors and tints, I have the wood picked out that I want to use. And it's not typical. And I really thought, because I have some really good cedar, and I wanted to pick out a type of wood that reminded me of her. And the cedar kind of grows. It's very majestic. To me, a cedar tree is very majestic. And it's very knotty. Okay? If you can understand that. It's got a lot of knots in it. I found some cedar that doesn't have as much of the knotting in it, and I'm not going to use like a rich cherry cedar because I can't afford to have too many color differences in the woods, because the focus really needs to be on her face, which is going to be over here on the guitar. Okay. So that's how, but at the same time, of course, the grain on the guitar is going to be like this. So I have to think what I'm going to do. Now, I think I'm going to do, and I'm not going to paint the guitar. I don't like painting guitars. I like using the wood grain. But I am going to tint and color dye into the wood grain here. And it's going to do a fade of red here through the wood grain. I'm going to basically ink the wood grain with a red ink. And it's going to get into that grain. And it's going to run in this direction here. It's going to fade out as it gets near her, but I need this color here. Also, guys, if I have the time, because I'm trying to do this guitar by the end of the year. I want all 4 guitars done by the end of the year. I should be able to do a guitar every month and a half and have it done. So I'm hoping to have this done by the end of the year, and all 4 of them. The neck, I haven't decided whether I'm going to put their name in English on the neck and have it written on the fretboard and maybe inlaid. I don't know yet. Either that or it's going to be on the headstock. Like, it'd be really cool to have some nice script, Don't know yet. I would really, really love to do that across the, the headstock here, and have it say, Hwasa across the headstock. Like I said, these guitars. I mean, I've never heard of anybody doing a guitar to commemorate a band, in this way, especially in K-pop. So, I mean, maybe it's the first, but this is the first stages, guys. Now, don't know, I know I'm going to be taking the cedar that I picked, and I'm going to be going through it, cutting out the sections that I like, the blocks of cedar that I have, picking the grains, making sure they're going to work together, because I'm going to take 3 good thick pieces and press them together. And I'm going to have to run them through the joiner planer and smooth them out and make sure everything is nice and squared and put it together. And it'll begin from there. Now, all of this is going to be on video. I'm not going to go live when I do it. There will be some parts that I do live, some of the intricate work, like I can bring right in here and do it right here, on the table. But there will be videos available on Patreon at first, of course, and then released for everyone else later. We have to do that with our Patreons. The patrons, or I should say the patrons that are in there, that really help support our channel. I mean, everybody does. You guys come in here to the chat and everything. You really help support the channel. And I can't begin to tell you how much we appreciate that, because, I mean, every cent we make on here, whether through ad revenue, which we get very little with ad revenue because of all the copyright issues, but our the Patreon is the main source, and we're able to pay for these really good mics that we got a few months back, the SM 7Bs, the Sures. They're high-end mics. I mean, both of these were over $1,000 for the 2 of them, because I got the warranty and everything on them. But like I said, we're trying to do this so we can bring you the best stream possible, the best that we can do. And so here we go. I mean, this basically, I'll try to draw real quickly here out what the whole guitar might look like, together with the neck, of course. I still am not sure about the cutaways here. I like the old hammer style, because I had a Hammer Slammer. I love that guitar. Brian May made those kind of famous, because Hammer Slammer made it I believe, a commemorative type of guitar for him. And probably keep this one around the 22 fret. I'm not into doing the 24s. A lot of the Gibson SGs have the 24 frets and a longer scale neck, which is, there's advantages to having the longer scale neck, guys, because the string action is kind of more easily worked. There's a lot more distance. It tends to be easier on the fingers to play. A lot of the shredders, like the SG, that want to shred on a guitar, because it is just, it's a lot easier to function on that guitar. Okay? So, I'm sure this is not going to have the exact amount of frets on it, but we'll be sure to. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to um, do the name on the neck or just do that on the headstock. But it's probably going to be on the headstock. I kind of like that idea a little better. But that'll be the basis of the shape, I think. That may change. I may look at that wood and get a vision of a completely different shape. You know, you just don't know. Okay, and of course her face is going to go here. Oops. Right on the end. We'll have a little bit of flair here. And we're going to have her name in Korean here. And again, I'm going to tint probably red. Still not sure. We'll see. It's going to be red. I think when I do, like, I'm going to have different colors for each one. And it's kind of like, and I guess I wanted Hwasa to be red. After seeing the video of her, The Lion Sleeps the Night, and seeing her in red, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be red. Moonbuell, I get this sense that it needs to be purple. Like, I'm going to tint the wood purple, or I'm going to use Purple Heart to do the guitar, which I think would be really interesting. I've seen a couple of guitars made out of Purple Heart. Now, as far as Solar, from the video Hip, her black and white face guitar, or her black and white face in her costume on there, I would love to do something like that for Solar. I really like that image. But at the same time, I'm getting this feeling that I should make Solar's guitar blue. Don't know yet. Wien, I think I want to make this guitar. I mean, it's got to have, I'm getting like this, because Wien is always, she's this like in the background kind of person, extremely intelligent. She's, how would you say, she kind of like controls things in the shadows. Like I think of her as being almost like a puppet master, if you understand that. You know, now, again, as I start to shape this guitar out of the wood tomorrow, I might change it slightly. But this is generally what I'm thinking for her guitar. And like I said, her face is going to be in this area right here on the guitar. It's going to be a 3/4 view. Her name in Korean will be here, but I'm pretty sure her name in English will be here on the headstock. Yeah, Natalie, I really thought that having each one of their names on the headstock in English, spelled in English, but having their name written in Korean here, right across, like straight up and down, of course, and having that here, and maybe even, because I have my own, stamp that I would stamp all my certificates when I, being a martial arts instructor. Most of my stuff, my certificates, of course, I wrote them out in Japanese, but I'm really, really thinking that I'm going to use my stamp that I use, and I'm going to have my friend cut me one out of steel. He has a metal shop that he can cut me one out of steel, and then I'm going to heat it up. I'll get that thing red hot, and I'm going to burn my stamp into it. Now, normally, like I said, on the guitars that I build, and if you just came into the stream, this is my last guitar that I built here. And because my guitar, name, if you want to call it, is Texas made. So I like to put the state of Texas right there on the guitar where the guitar plugs in. This one, however, will not have that. It's not going to have Texas on it. And the plug-in I will put on the side. It will be here on the side of the guitar. Okay. So, I mean, the backside, when that happens, I'm going to have to route her out the backside here, route her over to here to make a plug on the backside. And this will have to be routed out and drilled to the pickup here, drilled here, and then drilled into here. And, of course, drilled. I mean, there's all kinds of things happening behind the scene on a guitar. Natalie, you think Solar gives you a green vibe? Oh, from the dress from her solo. You know, you got a good point there. Solar, you know, I'm going to write that down, okay? So I can look into that when I go to build her guitar. Because I think the order that I'm going to do it in is going to be I'm going to build Hwasa's first. I'm going to build Solar's second, and then I'm going to build the bass for Moonbuell third, and then of course Wien. I'm going to build hers. I'm going to build hers last. Okay, but I'm going to write down right over here Solar green, and and I'm going to look into that and see if I think that'll work. What do you think about? Well, if you're asking Natalie about, here is where her name in Korean is going to be, and it's going to be inlaid into the wood. I'm pretty sure I'm going to inlay it. I might epoxy it. I don't know. We'll see. This is going to have her name in English on the headstock. So we'll see it in Korean here, but it'll be in English on the headstock. Again, we'll see as far as what I'm going to do with the guitar, as far as cutting it out and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be the general shape. I mean, we'll see. I didn't want to. I don't like getting. I mean, I've done some fancy guitars before, you know, that had weird shapes to it and stuff. Like, I took other guitars that were already built and changed and altered the shape of them. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. So I'm so looking forward to doing this, and I'm glad this other one is finally built, and I was able to finish it off. Yeah, Ella, this is going to be the first of 4. This is I'm going to make all 4 guitars. One for basically for each member of Mamamoo. It's going to have one that is made for each one of them, not for them. I'm not giving it to them. If they wanted it, we could talk, I'm sure, when they're done. But I'm pretty sure that what's going to happen is when all 4 guitars are done, I'm going to put them up for auction as a set and basically go from there and see what happens. But generally, I sell my guitars anywhere from $600-800 to $1,500 when I get done building them. So that's where we're at now, and I think I've been on for 30 minutes or so. I am going to videotape a lot, like last time, like the build that I did for this guitar. I have mostly screenshots, and I did a slideshow presentation, and of course me playing it at the end. There's a lot of work, Ella, that goes into building a guitar. I mean, we're talking about not just cutting the shape of the body, but shaping out a neck for a guitar and creating a neck, and the work that goes into creating that neck is extremely, I guess it's not for a beginner. Especially the different styles. Like this style, I know a lot of people think that this style neck that I'm doing for this is probably the easiest one. I always thought they were the hardest. I always thought this style of neck was harder because it had to be cut out of one piece. I'm kind of it's easier for me to make the angle neck, like for what they call a 3x3 neck, like a typical Gibson or an acoustic, which you see the neck, and this will be from the side view, and then the headstock bends down here. okay, like on a Gibson. And of course the tuning keys, of course, are here, and the strings are running across, and they're coming down here like this. Well, those are made in 2 pieces. Yeah, Natalie, it's going to be a compilation of each one. Now, each one of these guitars is going to take me probably a month and a half, because I don't do this full time. I run an office. I'm an art director at an ad agency, so I do that full time, and then I come home and I do this in my spare time. I get most of my work done on the weekends. So tomorrow I'm going to be getting the wood that I have stacked up in there and cutting it and getting it ready to be placed and pressed together, because the body's going to take up 3 pieces. And I have to go through it and pick out where I like the grain. This is going to be made out of cedar, so I don't want to use a lot of, as much as knotty, if you have knots in the cedar. I say knotty, and that just fits Hwasa so much. So I'm not going to pick the cedar wood that has the most knots in it. I'm going to use the straightest grains I can find. I'm not using cherry cedar because there's so much going to be going on this. I can't have a lot of disruption in the grain. So the cedar that I'm going to use is going to be very, very straight grained. And there's a reason why I picked cedar for this build. That one that you saw here, this is out of cherry wood. That whole guitar, even the neck. The 2 stripes you see on it are walnut. The fretboard is maple, but the whole guitar is pretty much all cherry wood. So this is going to be probably a full maple neck, because when you do this style of neck, it's just better in maple. It really is. And of course, what I need and what I need the cedar for is to be very, very plain, because I need her face to really, really stand out. I need her name in Korean here to really stand out. There's going to be so much going on. I can't afford to have a busy grain, because that'll really take away from what's going on the guitar. So I picked cedar because it is to me, it's one of the most majestic and beautiful trees out there. And there's a reason why I picked that for Hwasa's guitar. They also grow very, very long, and they're old. And you guys you're going to laugh, but I was reading Hwasa's psychological profile, and it says that her choice man is a father figure. And I just thought to myself, no, I can't think to myself like that. No, I'm married. I can't think like that. God, I'm twice her age. I think more than twice. God, I am. Let me see. She was born in 90. Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm more than twice her age. Anyway, I'm married, Spud. I'm a married Spud. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So this is just part 1. It's going to be about a month. The harder ones, if I do a hollow body, it'll be probably a month and a half. So I'm trying to get these all done by the end of the year. Like I said, they'll be up for auction at the end of the year. They're not going to be cheap, guys. I'm just telling you, you have to understand what it's like to build a guitar from scratch. The process is insane. Especially when I'm setting forth to do 4 of these in a row. So, it's going to be, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to try to use some different stuff on these. And, normally I build a guitar. Someone says, okay, I need a guitar made this, and that. And you just build it to what they want. No, these I'm building to what I want, and I have a collection of guitars here now, because a lot of people say, oh yeah, I want this guitar. I want you to build me a guitar like this, and that. And you tell them what it's going to cost up front. And then when it gets built, they're like, oh man, I really don't have the money. So most of the time now, if I build a custom order for someone, I'm getting paid half up front before I even do anything else. Yeah, Ella, I have a color scheme in mind. It's not going to be painted, though. This is going to be a very lighter colored cedar here. The inlays are going to be very, very dark, probably walnut or ebony, okay, of her face, and I'm going to cut out and make inlays to look like her. One thing I'm very good with as an artist is I do a lot of portraits. And what I'm going to do with the wood, none of this wood is going to be painted. It's going to be dyed, tinted. And Hwasa is going to be a red tint here. All tinted red and dyed, so it's going to really bring out the grain here. But as it gets towards her, it's going to fade out into the wood. And it's going to be just wood grained. And then it's going to get, of course, clear coated. I do like to espresso stain the edges, and it does give it a little bit of a darker feel to it. I wonder if I can get this. I can pull a guitar down so you can see what I'm talking about as far as espresso stain, and then I'll get out of here. Let me, I'm trying to do this without moving anything. Now this one is part of the Telecaster build that I did. I'm going to try to stick part of it in front of the camera. Now, when I say espresso stained, look at the edge of this. And do you see how this... That's weird how that's flickering like that. But do you see how this gets a little darker over here? And this is what I like to do to the edges. I like to espresso stain a guitar. Now, this is made out of... the whole back of it is alder. But the front here, this is white oak and fire walnut. And you can see, of course, I do the Texas State inlay. But here you can actually see the espresso stain a little better. You see how it tints the wood? I like to do that around the edge. Now this is a hollow body Telecaster that I built. I'll move the camera up just a little bit so you can see it. Now, this one I refused to sell after I built it because I like I didn't build it for anybody, but I did build it to sell it at first. And I refused to sell it when I first built it. I said, I can't get rid of this. I love the sound of it too much. But I am going to end up selling that one just the same. Okay, let me get this one back up on the rack. Okay. But yeah, so when I say that I'm going to espresso stain the edge, that's what I mean. That's what it does. It gives it that rustic look. I'm scared of that, Ella. I'm really scared of making these and then just going, I can't sell them. But truth be told, the four of them together as a set, being one of a kind, is probably going to sell for about 10 grand. You put 10 grand in front of me, I'm pretty sure I can sell them. Okay? So yeah, the four guitars together as a set will sell for about, I would imagine, about 10,000. I mean, if I just make any old guitar, they're going to sell anywhere, $600 to $800 up to $1,500. But if I make this is one of a kind set that's never, I don't think it's ever been done. I know, Ella, you would you stop it? Because I'm thinking about that, because something tells me that after I make this set of four and they sell, I'm going to want to make a Hwasa guitar for me, and I'll have to make it different. But, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. Yeah, Natalie, don't make fun of me like that. Ella's doing a good job all by herself. So anyway, that's all I have for tonight. I'm pretty sure that this is the design that I'm going to go with. Probably have... I'm going to make this real curvy, so I might have that curve come in even a little more here. I might. Don't know yet. but I have to leave a lot of room back here to put her face on it. And I'm not scared, and not I might actually, if I do a cut in here like that, when you see that, and then I can have her hairline go like this and literally have that be the shape of the guitar there, which will make it a little difficult because you want to bevel it slightly there. We'll see what happens, but it would really add some dynamics to it if I had her face like that. With here, all, like I said, this would be all cut out individual pieces of wood inlaid into it. This is going to take, you got to make it curvy. This is going to take the longest, is doing the inlays, because not only do I have to cut it out and make it look like her, but then I have to router out each one of these shapes perfectly onto this piece of wood and then press them into it. So that's where the most time is going to be taken. If I didn't have to do this, I could build this guitar in a week. But a lot of the painstaking stuff that I do when I build a guitar are the inlays. It's like on the cherrywood guitar. I made that especially for a person that has a club hand like mine. These, see those fingers? These are like, most people have like Hebrew Franks, the kosher dog fingers. They're nice and small. These are like kielbasa, okay, or like brats, okay. These fingers don't work on tiny little necks. So that the guitar, that cherrywood guitar, was made for a person with like a club hand like mine, a big hand. So the neck is literally probably 1/8 of an inch wider than a normal like Les Paul or something. So on that note, everybody, I'm going to get out of here because it's 11:30. Truth be told, I'm surprised we had this many people come in here at this time of night. I think at one time we were up to 12. I'm kind of surprised. Hey, Grandma, you came in just in time for me to go. So, look, every stage that I come in here, like, and start, there will be times that I go live. Like when I'm doing the actual cutouts for those inlays on her face, I might actually do that right here. I might. Because that's painstakingly done on a little tiny hand scroll saw. And, I might actually do a stream where we do that so you guys can see it, and then we'll do it from beginning to end, and probably be an hour and a half, 2-hour stream, and then we'll place it right down here on the table so you can see her face in wood cutouts and what it'll look like. So, everybody, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I'll be in the wood shop tomorrow afternoon, and I won't be sweating too much because I have a portable air conditioner on wheels for my wood shop now that will cool that whole wood shop down to 65 degrees, and I'm going to love it. I won't be dying in that heat anymore. That would be really cool if Mamamoo found out about that, Ella. It'd be really cool. And something, I'll probably try to send them something on Instagram or something like that. Send them pictures of it when it's done, because I'd sure like to get their opinion on it, and I hope they like it. So, you guys take care. And like I said, this ends part 1 of the Hwasa guitar design and build. And that would be for the series, the 1 of 4, because there's going to be 4 guitars. 3 guitars, 3 6-string guitars, and 1 4-string bass. You guys take care. Yeah, I'm going to put some stuff up on Instagram for sure. I love all you guys. Thanks for supporting this stream. Me and John have so much fun doing this stream. Oh my God. And I have to tell you, John and I, we had so much fun doing radio together for years that having a chance and my niece coming up with the idea to do this stream has been so much fun for me. I love working with my brother John. I can't begin to tell you how much fun it is. We always have a good time. So I thank you so much for allowing us to do that. You know, pulling us into your headphones, your cell phones, your home computers, wherever you watch us. It's awesome. You guys take care. Love you all.